I don't even know what to say. Ethan Klein from L3 Productions is just something else, okay? He is literally built different. I have never seen a person do the exact same mistake so many times as Ethan, and then proceed to defend himself for that mistake in the exact same stupid scripted way as previously. This is just honestly mind blowing. I think he deserves some kind of award for this. Yet again, Ethan says something extremely stupid, provocative, and absolutely unnecessary, doesn't understand he says that, and then gets punished for it. And then he goes on a Twitter tirade saying how he did nothing wrong, how in fact he is the victim here. Everyone else who's against him is a hater, troll, white supremacist, evil Nazi, and in fact, it's the actual Nazi's fault that he, for some reason, turned out to be an absolute bigot in almost every situation. It's mind blowing. This exact same situation happened with the NRA stuff a while ago with Ethan. He literally just said, "Hey, by the way, not exactly quoting him here, just retelling the story. Hey, do we know anyone at NRA so we can get this place bombed, blown up?" Yeah, that was pretty not good. And you know what his response was? That he's not at fault. He did absolutely nothing wrong. And now he did almost the same, well, not exactly the same thing, but he literally just almost word for word said, "Hey, if the Nazis take over, I hope that they gas Ben Shapiro first." Which is absolute insanity. Now, admittedly, I don't think this is too outrageous. It's kind of a stupidish joke, but whatever. Honestly, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to say, and I don't think he should be exactly punished too strictly for it, but I understand that people want him to be punished. Because every one of us knows, or at least you should honestly know this, that if anyone on the right, or anyone on the left, but whose opinions on that moment could be contextualized as from the right, would get just instantaneously banned off the internet for saying that. There would be people literally trigger finger waiting for a moment like that to happen to insta-ban them. But Ethan Klein, no. Absolutely not. Only after a decent amount of outrage is shown against this person, only then YouTube does something. Because we all know that he's friends with Susan Wojcicki and all of that stuff. Well, this is great. How can one person do this? Let's read a couple of these tweets. Ben Shapiro, who was happy to perform a purity test on me and declared me as a bad Jew for criticizing Israel, hosts Candace. Hitler just wanted to make Germany great again. Owens. By the way, there's somewhere in the comments there's a clip what she actually said. So yeah, Ethan doesn't care about lying. By the way, he will lie through his teeth about almost anything, and he blatantly just doesn't get. He knows that he still has enough supporters that he can lie about absolutely anything and get away with it. Owens, on his website, The Daily Wire, he is constantly excusing, enabling, and platforming real anti-Semitism. That's great, Ethan. And this is what he does. Ethan will not provide you any evidence of anything. This is like his best attempt at that. He will go on personal attacks against people. He will absolutely try to demonize. He will lie about what people have said. This is like a normal thing for him. And he will make himself into a victim. This is absolutely disgusting behavior, by the way. A few white supremacists successfully lobbied YouTube to suspend me. Always the victim card. A Jewish dual citizen of Israel and USA for anti-Semitism. Yeah, now that it's anti-Semitism, suddenly it matters that he's a Jew. You can actually read this one if you want. Pause it and read it. This kind of probably puts in context for some people why that matters. But anyway, onward. Anti-Semitism. Ben Shapiro and friends can virtue signal all they want, but ultimately they are the ones platforming dangerous anti-Semites. All I did was point it out. He's completely flipping the situation, by the way. He didn't point out anything. He didn't get banned for pointing out anything. He got banned for saying that Ben Shapiro should be gassed. It's not. Some people are, by the way, calling it a call to violence, but no, this is not exactly a call to violence. If it is, it's the most meager call to violence, and I don't think it matters. Now, the NRA thing, now that was definitely a 100% call to violence, and that was really bad. But this one, the way you can find the clip if you want. This is not the worst situation in life, but obviously Ethan must continue because the Twitter tirades can never stop. The joke that I was suspended for simply pointing out that Ben, who is desperate to be accepted by his Christian nationalist friends as white, will only ever be seen by them as a useful idiot, and sadly for him, a Jew. Now, I don't know honestly a lot about Ben Shapiro. I have seen a couple of his videos. I don't kind of find him too entertaining, so I never watched him. But some of the things that I have seen about this, I'm pretty sure Ben Shapiro absolutely does not want any white Christians or any Christians at all, like, accepting him for being a Jew. Some of the clips I have seen about Ben Shapiro are literally where he proclaims himself as the biggest Jew of all the Jews in the universe, okay? He wears the hat, he does the thing, he has the candlestick. Like, that is literally what Ben Shapiro himself says. I don't think this guy cares too much about your Christian opinions, honestly, or to fit in them. So that's a great take, Ethan. The people reporting me accepting Ben are tiki torch carrying white Christian nationalists. They do not give a fuck about anti-Semitism or Jewish people. They revel in the fact that YouTube and other institutions are so quick to act on bad faith and malicious outrage. And yeah, so he's called everything that is ever done to him is obviously bad. Oh boy, man. How can you just go on tirades like this? It is absolutely insane. They are currently the greatest benefactors of cancel culture, identity politics, and moral outrage. That's flat out not true. It's incredible that they have become the party of free speech while decrying and lobbying for my deplatforming. They both condemn and defend cancel culture at the same breath. Now, this is actually something I do believe a lot of people on the left would believe. Because honestly, if you don't understand the situation here, then you probably think this is true. That the right is saying, no one should be punished for what they say. But in this situation, it's a bit different. Because, you see, the right is actually not calling for Ethan Klein to be just banned off of everywhere because he says bad things. The people on the right are pissed about this situation is because, as I mentioned at the start of the video, that if anyone said about Jews anything even remotely close that Ethan said, and the person saying that was a right-winger, or considered a right-winger, they would get instantaneously just demolished off of YouTube. They would be gone in an absolute heartbeat. But Ethan, without outrage, nothing would have been done with him. And people are pissed in this case because a lot of people know that YouTube has, it has rules, but a lot of those rules are rules for thee, but not for me in aspect of on which side of what question you lie upon. So yeah, people were pissed about that. That without outrage, YouTube would never absolutely even care to move against Ethan Klein. He would get absolutely no punishment unless people committed outrage against it. So that's the difference. It's not actually a council culture in this case. It's more like fairness in the enforcement of rules in this situation. Because again, without this outrage, Ethan would absolutely face no consequences. Because the rules don't apply to everyone equally. I, unlike many who would dismiss me as woke, don't know if that actually can work like he says it there, have spent hundreds of thousands actively fighting to strengthen our First Amendment. Well, theoretically, I don't think that actually is true because I know what he's going to be talking about here. But I'm not sure if that actually counts. Our first lawsuit against Matt Hoss has been published on copyright.gov as a seminal case for fair use and often cited as in legal briefs. That is very cool, but that has absolutely nothing to do here. In fact, if you're looking from the left perspective, this would be called consequence culture, not cancel culture. AKA, you get punished for the things you say if people don't like them. So, yeah. Our current lawsuit with Ryan Ryan Kavanagh? I have no Kavanagh. No idea. No idea who he is or why this matters. Seeks to accomplish the same. I will not. Yeah, and then he's trying to praise him as a hero. Imagine a time when this guy was actually funny. Imagine a time when this guy actually did good things, and now look at him, a pathetic shill with 52 mental illnesses, a decrepit body. He's 30 or something. The guy looks like he's 60 and is gonna keel over almost any day now. That's what happens. That's what happens with people like this. Sad but true. And once again, humbly request that all naysayers, haters, detractors, and fallen fans alike. Fallen fans? Oof. Got a sting right there, Ethan. Suck my tiny Jewish dick. Thank you. What a way to make yourself the victim, Ian. 10 out of 10. Never admit to any wrongdoings. Don't worry. Your woke crowd that you are pandering to, sooner or later, will destroy you. So, you don't have to apologize now. You're gonna apologize. Well, you're not gonna probably apologize even when you're completely beaten in the mud by your own fans. Ah, well, it is what it is. Anyway, like and subscribe. This was funny.